Welcome to the deep dive. We take the sources you provide, break them down, and pull out the key insights you need. Today, we're digging into the WarpDriven Distribution Management System. All our info comes straight from the WarpDriven AI website, and our aim here is really to get under the hood, understand what this system does, and how it might genuinely impact different kinds of businesses.
Exactly. And what jumps out right away is this idea of a single, unified, intelligent platform. It's not just about making distribution smoother, though that's part of it. It's explicitly about driving growth. And, the range of businesses they mention is pretty wide.
Yeah, it really is.
M2B, D2C brands, manufacturers, channel resellers, even influencers, and cross-border sellers, too, both B2B and B2C.
It covers a lot of ground. And the thread running through it all, the thing that suggests a real, maybe fundamental shift, is the AI component. So we'll definitely explore how that artificial intelligence fits in, automating tasks, sure, but also enabling smarter decisions based on data. Okay, let's get into it. First up, how does WarpDriven actually connect all those different sales channels?
Well, this is their promise of seamless multi-channel connectivity. They list the big ones: Shopify, WooCommerce, Amazon, eBay, and interestingly, 1688 is in there too, which points towards, global sourcing capabilities.
Yep.
But it's not just marketplaces, it's also about connecting directly to your own B2B or B2C websites.
And it's more than just linking them up, right? The key seems to be the synchronization.
Absolutely. That's the core value proposition here. We're talking full sync product info, inventory levels, pricing, orders, logistics,
Oh, okay.
all kept up to date in real time across every single connected channel.
That tackles a huge pain point. I mean, fragmented data across platforms,
Yeah.
that's a nightmare for sellers.
Exactly. Having one inventory count on your site and another older one on Amazon, that's how you get into trouble. This system aims to be that single source of truth. It's not just about avoiding overselling, though that's huge. It also means you can, say, run flash sales confidently across all channels because you know what stock you actually have.
Yeah, that visibility unlocks a lot operationally.
Yeah.
Okay, so channels are connected, data's synced. What about actually getting products listed? They talk about one-click listing. Sounds fast.
It does. The idea is efficiency, taking product data straight from your supply chain system and pushing it out to your storefronts with minimal fuss.
Instantly listing it.
Yeah, cutting down that time and manual effort significantly.
And that has to tie into the real-time inventory sync we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Because lifting quickly is great, but if the stock count is wrong,
You end up overselling and canceling orders, which, erodes customer trust pretty quickly.
definitely.
So avoiding that is fundamental. And they also mention AI tools here
Oh, for what?
for automatically generating product content, like descriptions, maybe even visuals. So it's not just listing faster, it's potentially listing better content too.
Interesting. Okay. Products listed, inventory synced. Let's shift to the money side. Pricing, promotions, especially with different partners, distributors, maybe wholesale deals. How flexible is it?
This seems to be a strength, particularly for M2B or B2B setups. It supports tiered pricing, different prices based on who's buying or how much. And crucially, for anyone selling internationally, it handles multi-currency display.
That tiered pricing is vital for distributor relationships, right? Volume, discounts, and things.
Absolutely. The system seems designed to let you manage those different price levels, even setting specific prices for individual distributors or applying broad wholesale models.
And how complex is that to manage if you have, say, dozens of partners?
Well, the implication is that it's managed centrally, aiming for simplification. And beyond just base pricing, you have tools for promotions. Think seasonal sales, clearance events. You can tailor those initiatives pretty specifically.
Right, makes sense. So, flexibility there. Now, orders start rolling in from all these places. What's the next step in the work-driven flow? Order processing and logistics can be tricky.
Yeah, and this is where they lean heavily on that AI automation again. Orders from any channel funnel automatically into the main supply chain system.
Right.
Then the AI steps in to, well, manage them intelligently. It can auto-approve orders based on rules you set. It might merge orders going to the same place or split orders if stock is in different warehouses. And it figures out the optimal warehouse for fulfillment.
That's quite a bit of automated decision-making. Sounds like it takes a lot off someone's plate. And inside the warehouse, they mentioned barcodes.
Right, barcode-based picking and shipping. That's about speed and accuracy, making sure the right items go in the right box efficiently.
Standard practice, but important.
And then, once it ships, The system automatically pushes the logistics, data tracking numbers, status updates back out to the storefronts.
Ah, so the customer stays informed without you manually updating every platform.
Exactly. Keeps everyone in the loop.
Okay, let's talk about paying partners. Resellers, distributors, maybe those influencers you mentioned, different deals, different structures. How does WarpDriven handle that?
It seems built for that variety. It supports different billing models. Maybe you need prepayment from some partners, maybe others operate on credit.
Right, different trust levels or agreements.
And transparency seems key here. The system provides clear breakdowns of profit shares, transaction details for everyone involved.
That's crucial for maintaining good relationships and international payments. That could be a headache.
They specifically mention support for online payments and automated global withdrawals with multi-currency functions built in.
So paying an influencer in Europe or a distributor in Asia becomes less complicated.
That's the goal. Handling the conversions, automating the payouts, making sure partners get paid accurately and on time in their own currency. It removes a significant layer of friction.
Okay, so we've got channels, inventory, pricing, orders, payments, quite a few moving parts. How does a business using this actually keep track of everything? See the big picture.
That comes under their complete visibility and partner management features, essentially a central dashboard. From there, you can monitor sales performance across every customer, every channel, all in real time. You see what's working, where it's working.
A single pane of glass, so to speak. That must be invaluable for making quick decisions.
Definitely. Identifying trends, spotting issues early, and it's not just sales data. You apparently manage all your onboarded partners, brands, vendors, sellers from that same backend too.
So no more juggling different systems for different relationships.
That's the idea. A unified view of your entire distribution ecosystem with real-time reports and insights to help you steer the ship.
Okay, we've covered a lot of efficiency and automation. But you mentioned something earlier that sounded, well, more futuristic. This AI-driven autonomous distribution system.
Right. This is where WarpDriven seems to be pointing towards a more significant transformation. Think less about just automating tasks and more about an AI agent actively managing parts of the business.
An AI agent, so like a virtual manager for your online channels.
Kind of. The concept is an AI that handles the whole product lifecycle on your sales channels, almost autonomously, moving towards near zero manual operation on that side.
Near zero.
Yeah.
How does that actually work? What's the AI doing?
It's constantly analyzing data, market trends, what competitors are doing with their pricing, even how users are behaving on your product pages, clicks, add to carts, bounces.
Okay, so it's learning from the environment.
Exactly. And using that learning to take action.
What kind of actions?
Things like deciding which new products from your supply chain are best suited for which specific channel, automating the listing itself, optimizing it, dynamically adjusting prices based on market conditions or competitor moves. Even managing the end of life for a product, may be deciding when to discount heavily or delist based on performance data.
Wow. So the AI is making strategic choices about product selection, pricing, life cycle.
That's the vision they present. Building AI-powered businesses where the channel operations are largely hands-off, freeing up people for, higher-level strategy, product development, that sort of thing.
That's a bold goal. So considering all this capability, who is this system really built for? Can we pinpoint the ideal users?
Based on their materials, a few profiles stand out. First, manufacturers. Maybe they're great at making things but want to build or scale their own direct online sales.
Makes sense. Cut out the middleman, own the customer relationship.
Second, businesses creating private distribution networks. This could be using influencers as sales channels or managing a bunch of smaller resellers.
That influencer network piece feels very current.
Definitely. Third, you've got established brands already juggling multiple platforms. They're feeling the pain of complex logistics, inventory issues, keeping everything consistent.
They need consolidation and control.
Precisely. And fourth, cross-border companies. Businesses operating internationally that could really benefit from AI helping navigate global market complexities and make faster, smarter decisions.
Okay, a clear set of use cases. Now, provide a case study, right? Something about Italian fast fashion. Let's see how this plays out in the real world.
Yeah, this case study is useful because it grounds the features in actual results. So this Italian fast fashion business, they had typical industry problems. Fragmented distribution, inventory turning over too slowly, collaborations with influencers weren't very efficient, a disconnect between production and what the market actually wanted.
Leading to overstock, I imagine.
Exactly. Dead inventory, missed trends, classic fast fashion challenges.
So how did WarpDriven help them tackle these?
They implemented a range of solutions using the system. First, they unified their global network with that real-time data sync we talked about. That alone apparently boosted order processing efficiency by 60%.
60% is huge.
It is. They also automated how they managed product variations, sizes, colors, using bill of materials or BM management. That sorted out inconsistencies between production and the warehouse. They even brought in predictive maintenance for their machinery using CMMS, which cut downtime and boosted capacity by 20%.
Okay, so improvements right down to the factory floor. What about the influencer side? You said that was inefficient before.
This part's quite interesting. They connected influencers directly to their supply chain via the WarpDriven e-commerce ERP.
Central Software Hub.
Right. New products synced automatically to the influencers. And the AI recommended specific products to influencers based on their audience profiles.
Ah, personalized recommendations for the influencer to promote.
Yeah, which significantly boosted the success rate of those promotions. Plus, they set up clear commission rules and easy real-time payouts for the influencers.
And the result?
They tripled their network of partnered influencers.
Tripled. Okay, that shows the power of making it easy and transparent for partners. Any logistical improvements mentioned?
Yes, automated order allocation to the right. Italian warehouses cut delivery times by 35%, and they used RFID tracking
Radio frequency ID.
to get a much tighter grip on inventory, which they say reduced their overselling risk by 90%.
90% reduction in overselling risk. That's massive. So looking at the big picture, what were the overall business results?
Pretty impressive numbers. A 70% increase in distributor partnerships, a 25% cut in overstock inventory. That's huge for fashion.
Yeah, waste is a major issue there.
An 18% drop in production costs. And they shortened the design cycles by 40%, letting them react way faster to trends.
You can see why they'd call that an industry innovation benchmark. It touches so many parts of the business.
It really does paint a picture of significant transformation.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive today on the WarpDriven system, what are the main takeaways we should leave our listeners with?
I think it boils down to a few core things. Seamless integration is one, bringing all those channels together. Powerful automation driven by AI taking over complex tasks. Then there's the data generating insights for smarter decisions. And ultimately, the potential for real efficiency gains and significant business growth. It seems applicable across quite a diverse range of business models, too.
It definitely sounds like more than just a piece of logistics software. It's positioned as a central system for orchestrating multi-channel commerce, with AI playing a very active role.
Exactly. It's about managing complexity with a new level of intelligence and automation, allowing businesses to be more agile, more efficient.
So, maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. How could a unified AI-driven system like the one we've discussed today change your business? Not just streamlining distribution, but potentially reshaping your overall strategy and how you approach growth. What parts of your operation could benefit most? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.